Hey everyone, so I got some questions about the dock of the Switch 2 and the Switch 1. Can you put them into each other? So can we put the Switch 2 into the Switch 1 dock and vice versa? So the quick answer is no, you can't, and I'll show you why. So the easiest way to show you why is to look at the bottom of the two switches. So the top one you see is the Switch 2 and the bottom switch here is the Switch 1. So let me try and line them up here for you. As you can probably tell, the Switch 2, the two pins are closer together, whereas the Switch 1, the pins are further apart. So it's these holes that I'm referring to when I say the pins. So you can't actually fit them into the dock. The pins won't line up and you can't actually insert the USB-C port. But what happens if you just force it in there? What if you get rid of the pins and you just plug in that USB-C port into the Switch 2, for example? Well, I have modified a Switch 1 dock into a mini dock. I can actually take this out and plug in this USB-C port. So this is a Switch 1 dock into the Switch 2. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I have the Switch 1 dock board here. I've plugged it into the Switch 1 power supply and also the HDMI cable going to the TV. Just to make sure that it's all still working, I have my Switch 1 here. We're going to plug it into this naked dock. Charging icon shows up on the screen if I just turn on the console. And there it is. Okay, this is the Switch 2 plugging into the same Switch 1 dock. Nothing seems to be happening. Let's try that again. Oh, the screen turned on. Okay, it just says charging. The console says charging, but the TV shows no signal. So, doesn't work. I mean, no surprise. Just to make sure it wasn't some power supply issue, I've switched over to the Nintendo Switch 2 power supply into the Switch 1 dock. So, just to make sure it still works, so this is the Switch 1, plugging it into this Switch 1 dock. And yep, the home screen is showing up on the TV. So here's the Switch 2 into the Switch 1 dock using the Switch 2 power supply. Let's see what happens. Screen turns on, it says it's charging, but there's no output on the TV. Okay, so it doesn't work. So even if you rip open the Switch 1 dock and try to plug it into a Switch 2, there's no video signal output. No surprises there really, but we had to try it for science. I hope this was useful, and thanks for watching.